Hi, and welcome to Creative Writing. My name is Julie Samuels, and I teach seventh grade language arts and sixth grade creative writing. And this presentation is all about creative writing. My classroom is located in 214 in the Classic Building. All right, so just a little bit about me. I'm from New York. I taught in the New York City public school system for about 4 years, but currently I live in Renton with my cat Ella. I know that her name spells out English language arts. That was not intentional, but I love learning new things. I got my bachelor's degree in literature from Lafayette College, and I went to Columbia University Teachers College for my master's in English education. I also love to travel. I dance and sing, and I recently took up running as a new hobby. And I'm a really big sports fan, and I will often talk people's heads off about New York sports teams. So I'm always big about that. But switching it back to the class, just some class procedures that your child already knows about. First, we do have a no phone rule, and we have the yonder bags in place. So every day when your student comes to school, they put their phone away. They don't have phones at all. We do allow plug-in headphones if your child wants to listen to an audiobook or if there's a video that they want to watch that is associated with their work. But those headphones must be able to plug into the iPad. Speaking of which, iPads are only used for class activities. We do some work on the iPad, but we also have work that is done in a notebook. So if your child hasn't gotten a notebook yet for creative writing, please have them do so. We do go back and forth. With the iPads, please make sure that the iPad is charged and ready to go before school. While we do have loaner chargers here available for them, we don't have that many. And it's also important that they stay in class and they're not wandering around looking for a charger. It's important that they're in class, engaged, and ready to go. We do encourage every student to have a physical book on them, or if they want to use Libby for an audio or ebook. Often, if a student finishes their project early, we do encourage them to either free write or read a book. There is a no food policy in my classroom unless you have permission from me, but water, juice, all of that is totally fine. We are going to be allowing a late and redo work policy. We are putting that in place, but right now everyone seems to be on top of due dates, so we seem to be in a really good place. Just so that you are aware, we do have a proficiency scale. Right now, we are working on showing, not telling. So, we are working on the craft of language. And students are learning all about the different figurative language devices and how to incorporate sensory details into their writing through different types of writing. So, we are exploring all the different crafts of language together. And then, as we master that, we will move into our 3 units. Just to also be aware, we will have different types of assignments. We have practice assignments and what's called summative assignments. So, the practice assignments are the little mini projects that a student might do in class. They might finish it at home if they choose to do so. But those are little assignments that help them work towards mastering the overall standard. So, we will focus on little parts of the standard and little assignments. And then once they have mastered those, when they look at the summative assignment, which is typically going to be a larger story or a larger piece of writing, they will have the knowledge and tools necessary to succeed or exceed the standard. So, the 3 units that we're focusing on are the craft of language, where we, as I said earlier, are working with the different genres of writing to master figurative language and sensory details. We also have a mini poetry unit where students will work with different types of poetry and will understand how to craft poetry. And lastly, we will have our short story unit where students will be able to choose from a variety of genres and they will create their own short story where they incorporate sensory details and figurative language. So we have an all encompassing unit for them. A quick note about the late and the redo work. So, formative work, which is our practice work, students can turn in late. If they accidentally forget to turn it in, we will allow them to submit it in late. And our big work, we will obviously accept. We don't want students to miss out on that, but that can be turned in at the end of the unit. If a student chooses to redo their work, they are absolutely allowed to redo their work, but we will say that you have to turn in all of the practice work before the summative assignment. So if a student has 3 mini projects about one, like the poetry unit, for example, if they have 3 mini poetry assignments, but they want to redo the massive poetry one, they have to make sure that they have submitted the 3 mini assignments first. Just some ways that you can help your child succeed in this class is always look at Schoology, make sure that they are caught up to date, they don't have any missing assignments. If your student ever has a question, please encourage them to come talk to me. I am always on their side. I always want them to do their best, and I want to help them succeed and master the standard. Um, Everything is all about learning and growth, and I want your child to do the best that they can and to also have fun. We are meant to have a fun creative writing class, and I always look forward to seeing your child every single day in class. And if there's any questions, you can always reach out to me. My email is julie.samuels@mercerislandschools.org. So if there's any questions, feel free to email me, and I would be happy to chat. But I'm really excited for the entire trimester ahead.